Did you know that Google personalizes many searches by city and Also Asked is the only tool to access live People Also Ask data at city level? Try for free at alsoasked.com.
Tired of SEO guesswork? Quadra's AI agent goes deeper to uncover high-impact optimizations and completes hours of SEO in minutes. Get started now.
I was going to say that SEO with Fat Joe is as peaceful as this, but then the birds are all having fights.
Hi everyone. Haha. Okay, so let's talk about a shift that's reshaping search as we know it. SEO is evolving, clicks are harder to earn, and the SERPs are getting more cluttered. Traditional tactics like obsessing over the number of keywords used or tweaking metadata just doesn't deliver like it used to. But here's what we're seeing. But here's what we're seeing. The brands that win in search today are the ones already that you know, trust, and search for by name. So today, we're going to look at why and how building true brand authority is the smartest way to future-proof your SEO strategy. A recent study by AccuRanker shows how click-through rates are dropping, not just for you, but across the board. More SERPs are zero-click, and more results are showing AI overviews and have multiple SERP features. But the brands people recognize, they're still getting the attention. This is where brand building power steps in and where the game really starts to shift. So here's a familiar frustration. You're in SEO, but you can't always control the brand authority needed to move the SEO needle. You're waiting on the PR team, the social team, the brand team, while you're the one chasing and needing the brand authority. With this new approach, you're no longer stuck waiting. You can pitch to influential channels yourself. You can take control of your brand's visibility by showing up in the places that influence your audience most. You can take the power back. Here's something that's often overlooked. You don't actually have to rank first to win the click. If people recognize your brand, you're far more likely to get it. In fact, when users scroll through a busy SERP, they're not always choosing based on position, they're choosing based on familiarity, trust, and relevance. And the brands they've seen mentioned before, be it in a podcast, a newsletter, on social media, those are the names that they stop on. So in a world where zero-click SERPs and AI overviews are squeezing the life out of organic traffic, brand recognition becomes the click-through rate multiplier. This is what makes digital authority PR so effective. It earns you visibility before the search even happens. So when it does, your brand is already doing the heavy lifting. Not just ranking, but being remembered. And that's what drives action. So let's take a moment to define what we mean by digital authority PR. Traditional digital PR focuses on earning media coverage and backlinks. And yes, they're still super important, especially for SEO. But what if you could go beyond that? Digital authority PR is our approach to building brand visibility and influence across the full spectrum of trusted platforms. Not just the news sites, but podcasts, newsletters, Reddit, YouTube, social threads, and many more. These are the places where your audience is already spending time and already forming opinions. Instead of just chasing links or rankings, we focus on building familiarity and trust, the kind that drives branded search, feeds into EAT, and helps your brand show up organically and in AI-generated results. It builds on what traditional PR already does, but expands it beyond media placements. It's about influencing your audience before they even think about search. So when they do, you're already the brand that they recognize. So that's all great in theory, but what's the actual process behind digital authority PR? So step one, begin by researching your audience. Find out where they are already spending time and what they pay attention to. What podcasts do they listen to? What newsletters land in their inbox? What YouTube channels do they follow? What webinars, forums, or social communities are they part of? Step two, begin to build your outreach list. Create separate lists for each platform type, podcasts, newsletters, webinars, etc., allowing you to tailor it to your outreach for each platform. Step three is where you start engaging. You need to generally interact with the people behind those platforms. Leave helpful comments, share a post, whatever feels natural. Remember, you're building recognition and credibility before you even send the pitch. Step four, you let the outreach begin. A good pitch email doesn't feel like a pitch. It offers something useful. Share a valuable angle, a data point, or a story their audience will appreciate. And if there's no reply, I would recommend by following up asking about sponsorship opportunities. As no surprises, that's a route that often gets the most traction. Step five, deliver great content whenever the opportunity lands. Whenever there's a great webinar, podcast interview, or a sponsored newsletter, show up with clarity, value, and a strong message. Whether the opportunity is earned or paid, the outcome is the same. You're getting your brand in front of the right people in the right place before they even think to search. That's how you influence perception, build trust, and drive branded search, all before the search engine even enters the picture. That's the compounding effect of digital authority PR. It's not just attention, it's awareness, influence, and trust that builds over time. Most SEO dashboards still focus on the same familiar metrics: domain rating, backlinks, keyword rankings, traffic. And to be clear, I'm not saying those don't matter, but if that's all you're measuring, you're missing the signals that reflect actual brand authority today. This is because your audience's journey has changed. People hear about you on the podcast, they see your name in the newsletter, notice you on YouTube or Reddit, or maybe even see you do a talk at Brighton SEO. And that's when they search for you. Treat that moment of influence doesn't happen because of just a keyword ranking, but it's reflected in branded search volume, brand plus keyword volume, keyword combos, brand plus review searches, or brand mentions on trusted media and community spaces. The best performing brands aren't just measuring performance, they're measuring brand authority. So this is one of the most overlooked truths in modern SEO. When people actively search for your brand by name, it sends a powerful trust signal to Google. It feeds directly into EAT, experience, expertise, authority, and trust, and helps boost your visibility across non-branded keyword terms. But here's the caveat. Earning the click is only half the job. What matters just as much is that the user is satisfied, that they find what they're looking for, and that they don't bounce back to the search results. That's how you show Google that your brand delivers real value. So yes, we want people searching for you, but when they find you, we need them to stick around. That's where digital authority PR comes in again, because it's not just your brand that gets seen, but it ensures it's remembered and trusted before they even hit your site, improving the overall quality of the clicks. So, a few years ago, the playbook was simpler. Someone would have had a question, turn to Google, find a relevant link and click, and usually whoever ranks highest. Once they landed on your site, that's where the influence and the education happened, through your landing pages, resources, blog posts, or product or category pages. If it worked, they converted. This linear model made click-through rate a top metric of success, and in many ways, traffic was everything. But times have changed. The SERP isn't the start of the journey anymore, and brands no longer can rely on a single touch point to win a customer. So what we're seeing now is a new customer journey. in the way people buy, click, and convert because it's changed. Today's audience doesn't just start with Google, they start with influence. Maybe they see your brand on Slack thread or in an AI app like ChatGPT. Or maybe they see a quote from your founder in a newsletter, or a TikTok video, or a Reddit thread. By the time they reach you on Google, they're already primed, already curious, and they're often searching for you by name. That's why brand visibility upstream of search has become a more powerful driver of downstream conversions. And that's exactly what digital authority PR is built for. As much as SEOs love them, Google AI overviews and large language models like ChatGPT don't rely on your meta tags. They pull from high authority sources, expert blogs, news sites, and industry content, places where your brand needs to be mentioned. Digital PR gets you cited in the kinds of content these large language models train their data on, which means that your brand also has a higher chance of showing up in AI-generated answers, not just in organic SERPs. Okay, so this isn't the end of SEO, and no, SEO isn't dead again, but it is the start of something different. Digital authority PR combines the best of SEO, PR, content marketing to build brand authority and future-proof visibility. Rankings change, algorithms shift, but brand influence, that compounds. And when brand influence rises, leads and sales follow. Thank you, everyone, and have an awesome day.